We make the changes, we put in the work, we put in the effort, and then that doesn't get us anywhere. And so then it comes to a point where you have to let go because you're striving for a level of perfection that is impossible to meet. Hey guys, welcome back. In our community group, we have talked a couple times about the rules of estrangement. It feels like there's these invisible set of rules that we have not been informed of. We're playing like this game of chess, but it's not a straightforward game of chess. There's no rules, not rules like the game of chess. It's just an invisible set of rules that we don't know, but we suffer the consequences if we get the moves wrong. And I'm really curious to see if you guys agree or disagree with that. That kind of analogy came from someone in our community, and I just think it's so good and feels so accurate, especially for those of us who have, done the work, have things to share, have apologies to share, have progress to share, have, if our kids have said, you need to work on this, or this is what bothers me, or you do these things and it's hurtful to me in these ways. And we go to counseling and we do the work and we make the adjustments and we do the things, but then we're blocked on everything and we don't have a way to show them that we've made the progress. How can we move forward? If that's the standard at which we're held to, why aren't we given the opportunity to show that? And I understand that there is a group of people who will say that they have given chances and that the parent continues to let them down. Okay, I'm not talking to you then. Like, with so much grace and love, that's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking to the ones who have done the work, who've heard their kids out, and then have not had the opportunity to share the progress they've made. I'm really just curious how everyone navigates that. And I think that's the part of the healing and the letting go that we talk about, because we do this work for them to bridge this relationship. And then it becomes clear that's actually not what they wanted, because if they did, they would allow me the opportunity to show them, and they're not allowing me the opportunity to show them. So that must not be really the reason for cutting me off. Because if it was, I'd be given the opportunity to prove that I've made changes or have a conversation about it. At least have a conversation. Maybe not let me all the way back in your life to show that I've made changes, but at least let me have a conversation with you to share what I've done, to see if you're willing to open the door. But when we can't even have those conversations, that's where it becomes, we have to let go of this expectation of, it's like we shift, okay, we're cut off because of these reasons. So we're frustrated by it, we're sad by it, we're grieved by it, but then we decide, okay, we're going to make changes. We make the changes, we put in the work, we put in the effort, and then that doesn't get us anywhere. And so then it comes to a point where you have to let go because you're striving for a level of perfection that is impossible to meet. There's this standard. They'll just continue to up the ante, to change the rules of the game and not inform you, because ultimately I don't know the reasoning. There's lots of things I could speculate, but that's what it feels like from this perspective, from moms that I've walked with. So what does that mean? Like, how do we navigate that? And I think that's where the letting go comes in. And I know that that's hard for a lot of moms, and that terminology, just letting go, like, well, I can't let them go. Well, I'm not necessarily saying you let them go, but I am saying that you hold it differently. You create space differently. You're available differently. And you have to evaluate then, and this is going to be hard to hear, and you may not agree with me, and that's fine. You might get angry and turn it off. But then if you're playing this game, this game that I'm talking about, which doesn't match everybody in their story of estrangement, like, let's always remember that. Every story is unique and different. Not everything I say will match and meet this journey you're walking. But if this is the game that you're playing and that your child is playing with you, and you try to show up, play the part, and you continually fall short because there's a level of perfection that they're demanding of you, it might be in your best interest to bow out. I will never win this game, and it is not in my best interest to continue to strive to win at this game, to meet you in this game, to even play this game with you, honestly. It's in my best interest to let go, to heal myself. That work that you did is still positive. There's still benefit from it. You will still benefit from it in some way or another. Take that and move that healing to continue to do work more on you. And so that when they decide they don't want to play games anymore and they come back, you're ready, you're healed, and you will be more of a whole person who's ready to receive them. And hopefully they will have done some work and they'd be ready to receive you, and you'll be met with grace. You'll have grace for your child, they'll have grace for you, and that will be a better foundation to start on than always striving to meet their impossible standards. Sometimes I feel like it can feel a little bit like then it's, and a little bit from my experience is where this perspective is coming from, is if we do that and we make all these changes and we do all these things, then it's giving them this illusion of that they have control over us, that they are calling the shots, that they know that they can just pull the rug out from us at any moment. And they get to have the say. What they say goes, and we will just bow and cower to whatever their demands are. And I get that, and to a degree that is kind of the case because we're just desperate to keep the relationship. And in some seasons I have walked that, and that felt good and appropriate, and that felt like I was honoring where I was at and who I was. And then there's a different season where that wasn't okay with me anymore, and I wasn't willing to do that anymore. And I put up a boundary, and that is what got me cut off, is a boundary. A very realistic boundary of we just need to have a verbal or face-to-face conversation or on the phone conversation that's not text message or email. So a very realistic conversation request. And so you just have to decide where you're at. And I think that's where my encouragement always is having the relationship with the Lord and navigating this all with the Lord, because it's all unique and complex and unique to your journey. And the Lord is going to He's the best one to have insight. Yes, you can gain insight and wisdom from people who've walked this journey or have recommendations and all the things. You can totally gain insight and wisdom from other people. Absolutely. But the Lord's going to really be the one that's going to, this is when you need to speak. This is when you need to pull back. This is when I want you to just wait, to release them and wait. Maybe the Lord's working on something with them that He needs you to wait. He needs you to wait and prepare yourself, your heart, to be ready to forgive, to be ready to move on, to start new. And He's doing a work in them that He needs you to wait for them. Maybe. I have no idea. How can we know? I don't know. But that's why walking this with the Lord is so important and critical in your healing of it all, because none of it makes sense because it shouldn't be happening. But when we walk with it with Him, and He can so intimately guide us in what's next and meeting us in the need, because the needs are going to be different for each of us. Some of us He's going to be saying, no, keep pursuing, keep going after them, keep chasing them. And some of us He's going to say, like, no, please sit and wait. And He'll meet us in all of those things, providing exactly what we need for when we need it, and helping us know how to respond, and helping us know when to apologize, and when, to be humble, and all the things. And that's why that piece is so important. But okay, thanks for tuning in. It sounds weird to say. I feel like I'm like a TV broadcaster. Thank you for tuning in tonight on Channel 5. Okay. Please, as always, please send me any ideas, or if this triggered something for you, if you disagree, let's talk about it. I want to hear about it. I welcome a respectful discussion and conversation and dialogue about your thoughts and feelings about it, because that will help me create conversations that I can bring here. So, as always, resources are on my website. You can follow me over on Instagram. And we also have our virtual online community that is off social media to help you create community and find some women who are in all different stages of estrangement that you can find encouragement from. So I will talk to you guys later. I hope you have a wonderful week. Thanks for joining me today.